Let's get YouTube. It's your boy back with another banger. Y'all, we about to react to 5 NBA players, NBA, young NBA players, entering make or break seasons. Let's get into it, man. Who's referenced? GOAT. This boy be consistent, man.
The start of a new season always marks
He hit
a fresh,
100K.
clean slate for every
Let's
player
clap it up
to
in the
go out
chat.
and perform and hopefully
Clap it up. He
improve
hit
on their
100K.
production from the
happy
past,
for you.
as well as a new
Makes
opportunity
good
to
videos,
prove
bro. I
themselves
love
presenting
this video,
itself. For each team and every player, their
This
goals
has a
are
formula,
different,
man.
with the best players in the league gunning for titles and MVP awards and the like that, while younger players are more focused on continuing to develop themselves, especially if they haven't lived up to the expectations that they had coming into the league at this point. For the topic of today's video, we'll be discussing
Bro,
5
Lonzo?
players who, at the time of them
Showing a lot of
entering the
Lonzo
NBA
clips right now.
and early on in their
He ain't talking about
careers,
Lonzo, is
were
he?
pegged as players with supreme potential to break out as stars in this league. But to this
Wet.
point, they haven't
Ugh.
quite gotten there or even
Bro,
close.
Lonzo against
These are
the Pistons had a game against the Pelicans, bro. I was so mad, bro. Lonzo was hooping, and Jahlil Okafor had like 25 and 10 or something. I was literally there. I was literally at that game. It was at Detroit versus the Pelicans, bro. Jahlil Okafor went off. So did Lonzo. And Frank Jackson had like a big dunk or something. Like, it
are
was
not
weird.
players
And
that
they
would
didn't
be
have
considered
Ingram,
busts
they didn't
by
have
any
Redick, they didn't
means,
have
but
Holiday.
they are now entering a
They didn't
year
have someone
that
else
could
either.
make or
And we
break
still
just
lost.
how high
Like,
their
what the heck?
potential actually is. And
God
if they
damn.
don't have a breakout season this year, then the likelihood of them ever doing so becomes a
Because they were all
lot less
injured.
likely. They'll still be good players, but they just probably won't ever be great players. Before we get started though, it turns out about 68% of you watching right now are as not. Let's begin. The first young player
Lauri
entering
Markkanen.
a make or
Dang,
break
man.
season that we'll be discussing
He
is
used to be
Lauri
talked about so
Markkanen
much,
of the
bro.
Chicago
Everybody used to
Bulls.
love him,
When
especially
Markkanen
Bulls
came into
fans,
the
bro.
league as a rookie, he surprised a lot of people
Yeah.
with how well he transitioned to the pro game and how immediate his impact was as a player. His offensive game was much more advanced than anticipated. As a 7-footer, he could score both inside and out, and his unique
Yes, sir.
skill set had people very
Markkanen's
high on
nice,
his
bro.
game. Then in year 2, he took a big leap as an individual, increasing his production across the board, playing much more confidently, and showing
What is
signs
wrong
of
with
legit
quality,
star
bro? Why is it
potential
like this?
after a year where he put up about 19 points and 9 rebounds per game. Going into the last season, many predicted that he would take the next step as a player and become a fringe
You got some fish to go clean, that, man. I forgot how to edit, so.
all-star talent, but instead, his play took a step backward.
Mm.
Admittedly, there wasn't much working in his favor last year regarding what
especially, like,
happened
a lot
to
of people
him
say that it
throughout
was,
and around him, and former
that
coach
bald-headed
Jim
coach they
Boylan
had,
notably
they said
ran a
that it was his
system
fault. I
that
forgot his
didn't
name.
really play much to his strengths
forgot
nearly
his
as
name.
much
They
as
said
it
that
should
it was
have.
his fault
Going into
because
his
he wasn't
4th
playing
season
them
now,
anymore,
he
whatever.
has a new coach in Billy Donovan
Yeah.
and a team ready to make a
Billy
playoff
Donovan ain't
push.
even that good of a
So
coach,
the
though.
excuses
Wasn't
are
he coaching
running
at Thunder
out.
when we didn't-
We've seen
when we
his
couldn't make
ability
it up
to
the
be
first
a
round,
dominant
bro?
offensive player in the league over the
man.
years in flashes.
Oh,
But if he ever
gosh.
wants to actually
Oh,
reach
yeah.
star status, he needs to start putting it together this year. And
This
that will
cameraman
ultimately
be acting
decide
up, bro.
his
I need a new
trajectory
camera,
as
new
either
camera.
a good complementary piece
I'll
or
be
an
back.
actual franchise pillar.
He be back
The
there.
next player entering
Markelle
a
Fultz.
make
Oh, I
or
thought he
break
had a
season
Pistons
this
jersey on
year
for a
is
second.
Markelle
I was-
Fultz of the Orlando Magic.
I'm about to start
The
crying.
story of
Sorry,
Markelle
bro.
Fultz has been told 1,000 times already, so I'll
Oh.
save you some time there.
What the
But
heck?
basically, ever since he was
Hold
been
on.
told there
He
is
got up right
Markelle
there.
Fultz of the Orlando Magic.
Got up.
The story of
Ugh.
Markelle Fultz has been told
Markelle.
1,000 times already,
I didn't know he
so
had
I'll
hops
save
like
you
that. I
some
knew he had
time
hops. I
there.
knew he
But
could dunk.
basically, ever since he was drafted first overall in 2017,
Nasty.
he just has not lived up to that status
Ugh.
for a number of
See, he's
reasons.
just a good player,
He got
bro.
a
He
fresh
just knows how
start
to
in
hoop.
Orlando last
He's just a
year,
hooper,
and
man.
in many ways, it rejuvenated him in his career, having managed to stay healthy throughout the entire season for the first time, and actually being a productive member of the rotation for the first time as well. Now, as he enters the final season of his rookie contract, with free agency approaching, this will be the season that dictates just what kind of player he'll actually be. The unfortunate injury he suffered that has been hampering his ability to shoot the basketball has plagued him throughout the entirety of his playing days, and while
if he
he
could be
did
like
at least
Russell
show a
Westbrook type of
willingness to
player,
shoot
bro,
last
that
year,
just can't
he
shoot,
still
but
only made
is
threes
good,
at a
or like a Ben
26%
Simmons,
clip,
or like a
making
short
him
Ben
one of the
Simmons.
worst in the whole league in that regard.
Wait, what?
Being
What'd
a
he say?
26% clip, making him last year, he still only made threes, and while he did at least show a willingness to shoot last year, he still only made threes at a 26% clip, making him one of the worst in the whole league in that regard. Being 4
26.
years removed from a shoulder
God.
injury, will likely be figuring out
That's
if
almost
his
1 out of
jumper
4.
will ever
1 out of
return to
4 shots
normalcy,
he makes.
or if it will always be something that he struggles
Instead of
with,
2 out of
and
4.
that will ultimately be the key to unlocking the rest of his game.
That's
He's
tough,
a
man.
very good shot creator off the dribble, both for himself and others, and gets to the rim and finishes well also, but his upside is limited
that, man,
until
25 and
proven
20,
otherwise that he
whatever.
can shoot the ball. The next young player
Marvin
entering a
Bagels.
make or break season is
Bagels.
Marvin
You got to play clean ad, man. This boy getting paid off this video, ain't he? I know he is, no cap.
Don't you want to play?
Bagley
Hit
of the
like
Sacramento
subscribe, please.
Kings. Bagley was
not.
notably drafted ahead
You don't
of
have
both
to.
Luka Doncic
I
and
can
Trae
tell
Young
you.
in the 2018 draft, and to this
Not your mama,
point,
your
he
daddy,
hasn't
your auntie,
exactly
uncle, your grandma,
warranted
your
that
granddad,
selection. Bagley was one of
anybody
the
like
top
that,
prospects
so
in
I
that
can
draft for a
afford it.
reason, though, as his athleticism, skill with the ball in his hands at his size, and mobility and speed make him a very unique
mobility
talent
and
for a big
speed.
man. He gets out well in transition, works well
Yeah, he's a good
alongside
player, man,
De'Aaron
just not as
Fox,
good as
and
Luka
gives the
Doncic,
team another scoring
obviously.
option in the front court.
I
However,
feel bad
through
for him
2
because then
seasons,
his
he's
whole
been
career, he's
plagued by
gonna think
injuries,
be
and
think
the time he spent
thought
on the
of
court has shown
thought of as a
little
bust.
improvement, if any
Because
at
he was
all, in
drafted
that
over Trae
span,
Young and,
posting averages
what's
of
his
about 14 points
Luka,
and 8
Luka.
rebounds in each of his 2
Luka.
seasons. He's very talented, but this needs to be the year that he stays on the court and elevates his play, because otherwise, his ability to be trusted as a long-term part of the team's future will prove to be much more of a risk than it should be, and the star power many once saw in him will slowly fade away. Obviously, the talent is there, but besides health, he'll also need to improve his perimeter shooting, his defense, and his overall activity in the paint to truly live up to the hype
Yeah.
that was once there with him.
That's true.
The next young player entering a
Lonzo,
make or
bro, why
break
are all these
season
players
for
from
his
the
career
2017
trajectory
draft,
is
bro?
Lonzo Ball of the New Orleans Pelicans.
The
The
2018
hype around
too.
Ball coming out of college was astronomical, with
Yeah,
many
that's
pegging
true.
him as a future superstar and one of the next great point guards, and needless to say, he has not played up to that label thus far. Again,
Yeah.
like the rest of the players on this list, Lonzo has been, for the most part, a good player on the Lakers and Pelicans, but he's definitely been nowhere close to the great player
his
that many
rookie
were
year was
expecting him to be.
bu-
His
bubbly-
playmaking was always his
bubbly
best
juice.
asset, and in that regard, his
Bubbly
passing
juice.
has definitely impressed, and his defense, decision making,
doing, bro?
and even his shooting have all improved a ton over the years. But as an
Yeah, that's true.
overall scorer and overall impact player, he's been very hit or miss. The skill set Lonzo brings right now is valuable to any rotation as a two-way player, but if improvement does not come, then he's at best a good role player and not a go-to guy for a team.
That
see
form. You
driving,
were
I
like,
see.
you were like, no
Well, here's
cap.
something else. With your Farmers Policy
Get
Perk
that
new car replacement, you
NKG
can get a
jump
new
shot,
one.
bro. Skip this ad.
Your 4th season is your last year before you hit the free agent market, and Lonzo's value will definitely be determined by how much he shows throughout the course of this season.
Yeah, this is what
And
you gotta do,
finally,
man.
the
This is
last
literally
player we'll be
money,
discussing
bro.
today,
This is literally
entering
money.
a
How you
make
play,
or
how many
break
points you get and
season,
stuff.
is
This is
Miles
literally
Bridges of the
your
Charlotte
money.
Hornets.
You gotta
Bridges
just
was
ball.
an
You gotta
interesting
hoop.
lottery pick 2 years ago, as he seemed to possess the strength, explosive athleticism, and shot creating ability to play a big role on an NBA team. And while he has been good for stretches, there's still a lot of uncertainty about what kind of player he actually is. Is he a wing player? Is he a power forward? Unfortunately, he has weaknesses in his game that hold him back from being able to commit to either of these spots, as he's not quite quick enough laterally to stick with wing players on
Really?
defense, and he's pretty undersized to be a power forward.
Yeah.
Offensively,
But he's athletic
he
enough,
relies
so
on his athleticism
he's like he
too
could be like
much
an Aaron
and
Gordon
hasn't
type player,
developed a reliable
which isn't
jumper
that
quite
good.
yet, and
Aaron Gordon
advanced
isn't that good.
metrics have shown that the Hornets were almost
But, you know.
always more successful with him on the bench. He's capable
Dang.
of putting up some nice looking box score numbers, but his impact has been negative more than it's been positive, and with the Hornets
I hate
having
that
made
about
some
players, bro.
acquisitions
Like,
this summer
if you're a
and
player, like, you can't really
insinuating
control
they have
that.
a real
If they're just
playoff
better with
hopes
you on the
this
bench, like,
season,
that's not
he
fair.
is going to have to prove to the team that he deserves a big role in the lineup. And with that being said,
that's gonna be all for the video, man. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't care about the video, man. I hope make sure you like and subscribe, or don't. I can't control you, as I said before. And I'll peace out, man. I'll see you guys in the next video. No cap.